8:15 a.m. on this Friday morning, February 6, 2026. Of course, we were out here at the feeding grounds this morning. It is currently snowing, as you might be able to see. We had snow overnight as well, which of course this is a continuation thereof. Yeah, I actually had to come out and do quite a little bit of sweeping once again in order to clear some feeding areas. Got cats up here. I got my buddy Spirit that he decided to come up, and he's trying to figure out where to jump in to eat, but he's actually really vying for my attention. And well, as of yesterday, hey, there's our I'm not sure if this woodpecker or yellow-bellied sapsucker. Still have not gotten a really good bead on it for identification purposes. But anyways, so as of yesterday, we had accrued 19 straight days of below freezing temperatures, okay? Today, we are actually to hit 33 degrees Fahrenheit, okay, which is above freezing, and that will actually take us out of this slump of continuous below freezing weather. Now, I've got a cat situation that I've got to remedy real quick, and I'll be back. Alright, so anyway, Spirit has found the feeding bowl, which of course he has been spoiled for years now, eating out of that. You can see that, possibly see that we are getting some snow-covered granimals out here. No, the temperatures are not that great currently, because I had to deal with Batcat once again trying to get to the feeding grounds, and this time, well, let's just keep our fingers crossed that this time will be the last time that I have to deal with that cat encroaching upon the bird's breakfast and disturbing that process. Alright, so the birds are slowly starting to move back in as we just had a blue jay come in. But I do not allow anyone to interfere with the processes that I undertake, regardless of human or otherwise, such as animals. I've proven this through past content by actually having to go to court over the situations and circumstances of what I do out here. So I guess I'll go ahead and put up with a little bit more of this modified weather fallout scenario, just so I can record more of what very few people watch, right? So yeah, Batsy's back here pouting now, upset with me, and I can understand, because the cats feel as though, well, it's just part of their nature, if you will, to go after the birds. But, this is not a baiting scenario for the cats to have their pleasure with the birds, and that's why I scold them. And I've only been feeding the birds, for what, not even 2 years, as far as out here. And of course, the cats do realize that I take great pleasure in the feeding of the birds, and it upsets them because they want my undivided attention. Okay, so now we once again have, well, we got a titmouse right here. Very cool. We got sparrows and juncos that are moving in, as well as, of course, the blue jays. And quite a few blue jays at that. The tree is getting loaded. And we also have mourning dove, or a mourning dove up here. And now a mourning dove and blue jay and sparrow down below on the ground. I would really enjoy it if the cardinals were to come up, as well as the woodpecker. And if I remember, I will go to my bird book and provide a proper identification of the bird that I was focusing in on. The exact type of woodpecker, or if it is, once again, a sapsucker. My ornithology has kind of plummeted over the years, as I pretty much gave up bird watching many years ago, and so we're like at a refresher course. And unfortunately, as I speak, we have a jet aircraft flying overhead doing these, sky operations that just never ceases to exist in the skies here in Michigan, or at least over my head in this location in Michigan. You hear that tweet, tweet sound? Believe it or not, that is a type or a call of a springtime bird. Now, of course, we have quite a while before we actually hit that so-called springtime. There's our titmouse. Oh yeah. Yeah, we've got quite a few blue jays. Man. I do believe that I am hearing, wow, so many blue jays. A squirrel in the background. Might have to look around a little bit. I swear I'm hearing a different type of a, oh, okay. Oh, I hear it, but I cannot find it. Oh, oh, it's right above me. Okay. Can you identify this bird? And off it goes, flying away. Well, the snowfall has decided to stop for the time being. Nice. But the freezing cold. Oof. I'm wanting to record that much more activity, but it's not really happening at the moment. I guess everybody's decided to more or less take a break, a breakfast break. There's a little junco right here. Yeah. Of course, the blue jays. Yeah, we got one up in here, one back in here. Oh, titmouse just came back up for a moment. Okay, there's, where'd you go? Oh, just flew off. That was the titmouse again. Juncos are starting to move back in. The titmouse probably moved. Well, no, off it goes. Okay. Anyways, yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and call this good. So I have more blue jays, of course, coming in. But not a wide variety of birds that I'd like to see. Oh, okay, never mind. Here we go. Let's see if this one will actually come in. We've got the cardinal back here. Oh, big red it looks like. Coming in, coming in. Come on, buddy. Go ahead and sneak on in. I'm not sure if there's big red or little Fred back here, but that's what I was wanting to see. It looks like big red. Kind of scoping me out. A little bit nervous. Hi, big red. Not only do we have big red now that's come in, but mourning doves starting to wander in as well. Of course, many blue jays. Oh my God. Go ahead, Red, get on in there. So many blue jays. If I could just show you the scope of how many. It is, wow. Oh, now we've got it. Oh, there we go. There we go. Perfect. Wonderful. Excellent day. As long as I continue having my movements being calm, cool, or cold, and collected, I am instilling a little bit of trust into this bird here. Beautiful birds. Back and forth it goes. So very glad to see you getting something to eat. And that, yeah, I think that's little Fred. I don't know. Oh, I just moved too much. I went to put my hand in my pocket and off it went. But it didn't spook the mourning dove. Or is it turtle dove? Well, regardless, my fingers are froze. It is time for me to head in. Well, the cats are pretty much done up here. Most all have taken off to seek out shelter. And this is Skywise out. 8:50 a.m. So here we have the mourning dove, as I've shown. We have the ruby-throated hummingbird, which, well, of course, I record those during the spring, summer, and fall months. We have the red-headed woodpecker, but what I feel that I recorded this morning, more than likely, is the yellow-shafted flicker, which is similar to other birds that might have the same type of pattern on its back, but because of its red V-shaped marking on the back of the head, it is rather identifiable because of that. And so yes, what I recorded earlier today was in fact the yellow-shafted flicker and not the yellow-bellied sapsucker. Big difference there, right? And of course, I also record the downy woodpecker, and the main star of many of my videos, the blue jay, and there's the white-breasted nuthatch, of course, I record those. The black-capped chickadee, as well as the tufted titmouse. In past recordings, I have recorded the brown thrasher, which I like to call the Michigan Roadrunner for different reasons. And we have our state bird, the robin, which, of course, I record those as well. The cedar waxwing. Okay, this is one of my all-time past favorites when I was a kid. And we also have the loggerhead shrike, which occasionally I capture them in my recordings as well. One bird that I'm not too fond of is the starling. I'm not too fond of the brown-headed cowbirds, nor the brewer's blackbird. Red-winged blackbirds, they're okay. And always about me, the harbingers of the soul. In other words, the house sparrow. Not too fond of the grackles either. But I do love the Baltimore Orioles. And no, I am not speaking in sports terminologies. On occasion in the past, I have captured the rose-breasted grosbeak within my recordings. And of course, the beautiful cardinals. Okay, now we don't get the mockingbird here. As you can see within this little map right here, they're basically below us, but because of migration over the past few years, many birds that have been foreign to the state of Michigan have been, in fact, sighted here. And I was just asked about the catbird, whether we get them here or not, and well, you can see here the catbirds. They're almost in every state out there. Almost. And we cannot forget about the crows or the ravens. And well, I don't really like to speak much on the crows, as, well, that's an omen bird, okay? We'll just leave it at that. Now, as you can see on the belly of the common nighthawk, see the pattern right there? So that's quite a lot like the backside of the flicker. Okay? Now, somewhere in my past content, I actually have a recording of an owl. Not a great horned owl, but one that was on top of the roof right over my apartment. I'm not sure if I still have that posted or not, because, well, now that we have accrued 3,000 videos, I must remind the viewers that in the past I have personally removed quite a few videos when I was trying to reduce my channel back down to a sky observation channel and not so much with other content, but that didn't really pan out as I continue to produce wider varieties of content, if you will. Furthermore, it was a tiny screech owl that was the topic of which I was just speaking of, or the subject matter, if you will. Now, I won't go into any further on the factor of birds of prey, other than to note the turkey and or black vultures, which are my guides to many of the sky observations that take place. Very strange to have these big old ugly birds to be a guide, if you will, once again, to many of my past sky observations, which is very well documented. Birds play a large role in my life, and always have. And once again, I'm just trying to refresh a lot of my ornithological facts that I have forgotten. I mean, I used to know all the songs, the calls, the signature identification marks Most all Michigan birds, but over the years, I kind of let all of that lapse. And I guess if I'm going to be showing this type of content, I need to know what I'm talking about and what I am actually showing, right? And once again, just a couple more of our local birds of prey. But of course, we also have our ducks, geese, swans, such a wide variety of birds here in Michigan. And it does vary from season to season. But all in all, I record them because it gives me pleasure. And just like the cats used to provide, the birds also have a unique therapy about them when you watch them and you interact with them. So I guess that is that, and I shall go ahead and end off and bid you a fond farewell and ask that you have yourselves a great one, and thanks for watching. This is Skywise out.